I am Ricardo Muñoz, Director of the Latino Mental Health Research Program at the University of California, San Francisco and San Francisco General Hospital. This presentation introduces the Internet World Health Research Center and one of our missions, which is to use the Internet to contribute to the reduction of health disparities worldwide. One of the dilemmas we face at San Francisco General Hospital is how to reach more people with our services. Behavioral health interventions have been found to be effective for many health problems, but they require in-person delivery by a health professional who speaks the patient's language. If these interventions were delivered online, they could then be accessed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in unlimited number of languages to anyone with an internet connection. Therefore, we have come up with this concept of evidence-based web interventions. Web-based behavioral health interventions could become an important tool to reduce health disparities. Once they have been developed and tested in one setting, they could be shared worldwide. However, we must also develop ways to reach the poor in the United States and abroad. An analogy we find useful is a comparison of medications versus web interventions. The active agent in many medical interventions is medication. The active agent in web interventions would be the information presented on the screens. Both can be standardized well, and both can be evaluated using randomized controlled trials. They both can be accessed globally as long as people have enough money to buy the medications or to have access to the web. And they can be also used cross-culturally, for example, by adapting a web intervention to the language and the culture of the country. The development cost of medication runs in the millions. That of web interventions is more moderate, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the great advantage is the per-person cost. Medications retain a moderate to high cost every time they are used. For example, if you try to stop smoking using the nicotine patch, at the end of the day you have to take the patch off and throw it away. It cannot be used again by yourself or someone else. The same thing is true for smoking cessation groups. However, a web intervention, once developed and tested, can be used again and again. The server can administer it to hundreds of smokers or thousands of smokers or even hundreds of thousands of smokers for about the same cost. So the marginal cost, that is the cost of each additional smoker, approaches zero. This means that if we develop something, say at San Francisco General Hospital, we could share it with the world at very little additional cost. We have conducted proof of concept studies that have tried to answer the question whether web-based smoking cessation interventions can have comparable effects to traditional interventions, such as the nicotine patch or smoking cessation groups. For comparison, the abstinence rates found in nicotine patch studies show that at 6 months, people who have received a placebo patch, that is a patch that does not have nicotine, quit at about 5 to 8%. Those who have received a nicotine patch quit at rates of 14 to 22%. Our published studies have documented gradually increasing quit rates, which have reached up to 26% at 6 months. But the beauty is that from San Francisco we have been able to reach people from all over the country. Each red dot here represents one person who has logged on to our website. And we can also reach people from all over the world. This is only using Spanish and English, so if we used other languages, we could reach even more people. The way we envision the Internet World Health Research Center is that it would have two levels of organization. The first focusing on specific health campaigns, and the second providing infrastructure support for each of these campaigns, including such things as web development, language translation, and so on. It turns out that the most common languages that will eventually be used on the Internet are San Francisco's three most common languages: English, Spanish, and Chinese. With these three languages, we'll be able to reach 27% of the world. But can we reach the poor? The third world is already seeking access to the web. This website shows that a small town in the Andes of Peru has created its own internet cabin. Using a satellite link, they have accessed the web and are teaching their young people to use it. When I saw this website, it occurred to me that public health clinics, such as those at San Francisco General Hospital, could create similar internet health resource rooms to provide evidence-based web interventions to their patients, and using wireless devices to their entire communities. In summary, we have shown that we can conduct randomized controlled trials to test web interventions with worldwide samples. Once developed and evaluated, these evidence-based web interventions can be provided exactly as evaluated, at little or no cost to users. We now call for a concerted effort to provide these evidence-based web interventions worldwide to reduce health disparities. The Internet World Health Research Center is ready to implement its vision. We are now seeking advisors, funders, and community partners to help us develop as many health interventions in as many languages as possible. The evidence-based web interventions we develop in San Francisco will be shared with the state, the nation, and the world. If you find our vision worth supporting, contact me at the email shown on the slide. Thank you.